will be introducing all the candidates, and our first one is Noah Rosenberg from District 5.
Hi, everybody. So how many of you are here tonight from District 5 and how many are District 7? District 5, raise your hand. District 7, raise your hand. Awesome. It's really great to have both of our city council seats here at once. I think that our communities have a lot in common. We share a lot of the same challenges and a lot of the same solutions to our problems. I first really want to thank Westminster and the 4 community councils who put this event together. This is really awesome. A lot of times these municipal elections don't get the turnout they really should. And so I appreciate that. First, a little bit about me. So I am a graduate of the University of Utah. I went to West High. I've lived in the district my whole life, and I'm running because I think that it's time for our city council to lead out on a lot of really important policy issues. First and foremost, I think that we can be doing a much better job of handling the homelessness crisis. And I think that the first step to that is demonstrating to the community in District 5 and the community in District 7 that we can be trusted to select shelter sites. I think that we need more shelters across Salt Lake County, not just in Salt Lake City. And we need a diversity of affordable and low-income housing across our city in a way that works for all of our communities and also helps people get back on their feet. One of my other big priorities that I don't think very many of the council members talk about is the opioid epidemic. I personally know people who have died of opioid overdoses. I'm sure many of you do as well. Utah is 11th in the country for opioid overdose deaths, and the State Department of Health ranks Salt Lake's 4 of our 5 neighborhood areas in their highest level of concern for opioid deaths. I think the city can be doing a couple of things to really impact that issue. One of them is to expand access to naloxone, which is the drug you give to people who are experiencing an overdose, and it saves their life. Kind of think of it like an EpiPen, but for a heroin overdose. I think one other thing we can be doing in terms of addressing a long-term public health impact is creating a grant program for needle exchange programs to operate within our city. Right now, we don't have a needle exchange program. At the state legislature, I was really pleased to work for the representative who legalized needle exchange programs. And needle exchange programs, for those of you who don't know, mean you can take in a dirty needle and get a clean needle, and they're shown to cut the spread of HIV and hepatitis C by 40%, and participants are 5 times more likely to go into drug treatment than non-participants. So they're really great in terms of addressing addiction and also HIV and hepatitis C. I think the real root of a lot of the challenges in District 5 right now are a lack of communication between the council, the mayor's office, and our communities. When I go to community council meetings or when I knock on doors in the community, one thing that I've heard overwhelmingly is that it can be very difficult to feel like your voice is being heard by our city government. And for me, my background at the state legislative level, I'm sure a lot of you maybe don't have a super positive perception of the state legislature, but in the offices I worked in, it was always our highest priority that everyone, whether you were a constituent or not, left feeling like they were heard and that they had a solution to whatever problem they called us for. And so I see that fundamental breakdown of communication between the residents of our city and our city government is really, really dangerous. For me, I mean, it's about being open and available to every one of the constituents in this district. District 5, this is District 7. And so, I mean, my cell phone number is on all of my materials. When you send me an email, you get an email right back. I go to our community council meetings, and I also am out knocking on doors in the district because I think if I'm gonna run on a platform of engaging with you, it would be wrong of me not to actually show up and engage with you on your doorstep. That being said, I think this is a really awesome event. I hope you'll consider voting for me. If you want more information, my table is just over in that corner of the room. But you can also reach me on my cell phone number, which is 801-230-0194.